Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Thinking's Hard, and we are doing another New Player's Guide to Starcraft. In this episode, I want to talk to you guys about the importance of scouting and hotkeys. Now, hotkeys, really important to your game. If you're bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, it doesn't matter what league you're in. If you're not using hotkeys, your game will drastically improve just by using hotkeys alone. Hotkeys are really good for you. You can hotkey the control groups 1 through 0 on your keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. And a control group holds a unit or building value and just sends you to it. As you can see right here, I've set my nexus to 4. Something that would help me, for instance, is my ability to quickly switch between my probe and my nexus. If I'm scouting with my probe like I am now, and I was looking at him, I could instantly switch back to my base and look around and do whatever I need to have done. So it also really helps you if you have a lot of units and you're trying to micromanage them. Having them in different control groups will help you a lot. If you have a bunch of units, I'll probably show you an example of this a little bit later. But yeah, and here's an example of scouting. You always want to check that refinery. He's mined 50, almost 60 gas, so if this was a real player, that would tell me Marauders or Reaper play is likely to be here because he got it so quickly. Or possibly just really mass barracks with reactors, but I don't think that's going to happen. Even if that was a real player, it's kind of late for his barracks, but it's really not something I want to get into that heavily, especially because I'm not 100% sure if I'm right. But another good use for hotkeys. The shift key is your Q key. Doing something like this, that little probe there now has to follow all of these commands before he can finally stop and take a break. So he has to walk to each one of those little flashing circles because God hates him. Or more specifically, I do, and I want to see him dance and all over the place. So, yes, the shift key. An important use for that is telling a scouting probe most likely, to go in a specific pattern and just keep going there. That will keep him moving and stop him from being attacked by melee units like zealots until you can get back to him. So if I was scouting an opponent's base here and this was my base, I'd have him doing this, and then I'd be up in my base until I could get back here and just continue the shift key. It also helps with buildings. Let's say I wanted to build 3 pylons, 1 by 1. Even though I'm using the hotkey BE for build pylon, it's still not as fast and it consumes my time because I had to sit there and wait for each one to finish before I could build one. Using the Q command, I can build 3 in a row, send them back to my supply lines, and I'm done. I don't have to pay any attention, and I can go back to my supply lines or building units, whatever I needed to do. I can do it while those are building. I do not have to wait. It's obviously a very beneficial tool. Yeah, there we go. It's a very beneficial tool to your arsenal, and knowing the hotkeys will help you a lot for your buildings, because I played Warcraft for, I don't know, 6 years. Every now and then I would still, go to click on something and not quite know where it was. And when I knew where all the hotkeys were, I never had that issue, because I hardly know where any of these little buildings here in the bottom right hand corner of my screen, I hardly know where they are structurally on this little building group. I just know they're hotkeys. So if I actually go to click on one, it will hurt me because I'll stop more than the average player who, clicks on everything, because I'll be going, where is it? So, now another here's let's pretend that this stalker was a bunch of stalkers, and these zealots were a bunch of zealots. And let's say that I had a massive army that was all bunched up, and I didn't know what to do with it, because I needed to get it spread out. I could use my control group to instantly move them far away from each other, if they were grouped up like this. Say I didn't want them all going the same direction. I wanted my stalkers to go to the left, my zealots to go to the left, my stalkers to go to the right. I could go like this and reposition them so my zealots are in front of my stalkers. Now this is really beneficial because zealots being a melee unit, you want them behind your ranged units like the stalkers. And it's just stuff like that will really help you. And it keeps the stalker safe and happy. And that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk to you guys about. Just keep in mind what your hotkeys are and learn all of your hotkeys. It's really important. Go into a game with Go into a game with a very easy computer. Easy computer should be fine. I don't really. It doesn't matter. Really, just don't go against a hard or very hard. I'm not sure where your skill level is. You're not sure where your skill level is. I think I mispronounced that word the first time, and it came out so wrong. But just go in and find out where all the hotkeys are. Like, for instance, BN, build Nexus. B is for your building your just normal structures, and V is for your more advanced structures. So for Protoss, for example, I can incorporate this to the New Player's Guide to Starcraft. I'll tell you guys where all the hotkeys actually are. Okay, B is your build function. E is pylon, A is assimilator, N is nexus, G is gateway, if I can build it, Y is cybernetics core, F is forge, and once you have a forge, B, C is cannon, and now V, C would be your Twilight Council, V, S is your Stargate, I have one up here, VF is your fleet beacon, VR is your robotics facility, VB is your robotic bay, and VT is your Templar archives, and it's D is your dark shrine. And I'm getting some horrible lag. I don't know why. That's better. This is weird. But okay, whatever. Since I'm starting to lag so much, let's cancel all these, see if that helps at all. No, not helping. Whatever. Well, that's it for the building hotkeys for the Protoss. The units have their own hotkeys too. Just go in there and look around for yourself. And no matter what race you play, Terran, Zerg, Protoss, find your hotkeys to all of your buildings, find your hotkeys to all of your units' abilities, and just play with them until you pretty much know them by heart. You want to be able to click on your ghost and instantly lay down a nuke, or click on your stalker and blink away without even really thinking where that hotkey is on your keyboard. You want to click on a probe and go make a pylon without even thinking about where it is or how to hit that hotkeys. It's gotten to a point for me where I sometimes, about 20 seconds into the game, look down at my control groups. I've done this before a few times in like 3v3s and stuff. I've been sitting there and I've been struggling to remember where I actually spent the time to put it in my control group 4. I'll, let's say, just be sitting there making probes, and then I'll be like, when did I do that? That's awkward. So, yeah. The importance of scouting, we'll touch up on that in the next episode, because we only really did a tiny little bit of it on this episode. But the importance of hotkeys, I'm pretty sure you got the main point. If you didn't, well, I will go over this again for you. And, well, again, by that I mean, if this was not sufficient, I will make a subsequent episode so that I can cover it in more detail. for now, I will leave you with me just going to quickly kill off this opponent while showing off some hotkey skills, I guess. And in my next episode, I believe I will touch on macro and micro, what these things mean and how they affect you. So be prepared for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Thinking's Hard, the New Player's Guide to Starcraft, and in this episode, we talk to you about hotkeys and why you should love them like your mother.